KJA Global Channel. The Political System and Me. Series 1, The Political Wake Up. Episode 05, When the System Fails, Generations Pay the Price. A broken political system does not only create bad days. It creates inherited pain. It reaches beyond the present and writes itself into the future, quietly, relentlessly, like a stain that seeps through fabric until it becomes part of the pattern. People often speak of hard times as if hardship were a passing season. But when a political system fails, hardship stops being a season and becomes a lineage. A failing system does not simply injure a nation. It raises children inside injury. This is where our question begins. The mechanism is already present in ordinary decisions, even when politics appears distant. Explain how institutional failure transfers costs across time through lost opportunity, distrust, displaced talent, trauma, and weakened public capacity. And children raised inside injury learn to treat injury as normal. This is how societies lose decades without always realizing what was stolen, not only money, not only peace, not only opportunities, but the very imagination of what life could have been. Time, years stolen. Trust, social fabric torn. Talent, potential exiled or buried. Trauma, pain inherited. This episode is about those currencies, and about the dangerous lie that failure is temporary or localized. System failure is not only a political concept. It is a family reality. It is a psychological inheritance. The system reveal is intergenerational transmission of system failure. When a system fails, it charges four prices: lost time, broken trust, fled or wasted talent, and inherited trauma. When a system fails, it charges four prices: lost time, broken trust, fled or wasted talent, and inherited trauma. In plain language, the hidden mechanism is intergenerational transmission of system failure. Failure reproduces itself. A broken system manufactures the next generation of the same system. Non-repetition begins the moment a people decide to break the inheritance rather than pass it on. When a political system fails, it does not simply slow development. It steals entire lifetimes. When a political system fails, trust collapses like glass. Is he an informer? Is she connected to power? Will they betray us? Should I keep quiet? This is why broken systems create long, painful transitions. Even after dictators fall, citizens still carry the memory of betrayal, and institutions still carry the culture of fear. This is why system failure is not just a political problem. It is a civilizational wound. Here is the cruel mechanism: a failed system trains people in ways that reproduce failure. A nation breaks the inheritance of system failure when people decide that their children will not repeat their wounds. The hidden structure becomes traceable through the governance chain. Constitutional rule, institution, policy, budget and capacity, official action, human experience, review and correction. Each arrow asks a different accountability question: who authorized the decision, who had the duty to act, what record should exist, and what institution can correct failure? A broken outcome may begin far upstream. The visible harm can come from an unjust rule, an unfunded institution, a hidden record, a captured oversight body, or a remedy that exists only on paper. The chain prevents us from reducing a system failure to one personality. It identifies the point where law, capacity, evidence, oversight, or enforcement stopped working. When citizens and professionals can locate that break, criticism becomes more accurate and reform becomes more practical. For this episode, the principal mechanism is intergenerational transmission of system failure. The production graphic must make every link readable on a phone screen and must label country-specific or proposed arrangements honestly. Under dictatorship, when the system fails, is shaped primarily by concentrated command, information is restricted, institutions answer upward, and challenge may carry personal risk. In a fragile democracy, formal rules may exist while patronage, unequal capacity, corruption, politicization, or weak enforcement makes protection inconsistent. In a functioning federal democracy, authority is constitutionally distributed, common rights remain enforceable, and more than one institution can question, review, or correct harmful power. Elections or federal language do not substitute for functioning safeguards. You should compare who decides, how authority was obtained, whether records are public, whether affected people participate, and whether institutions that convert memory into non-repetition is available in practice. The constructive question is not merely what values we declare, but what institutions make when the system fails reliable. The minimum guardrails are: 1. Truthful and protected records. 2. Victim-centered remembrance. 3. Plural and inclusive public narratives. 4. Education that resists denial and hatred. 5. Institutions that convert memory into non-repetition. These safeguards work as a system. A published rule without an independent reviewer can become theater, oversight without records cannot see, participation without safety can expose people, and a remedy without enforcement does not repair the harm. Global relevance. The institutional test for when the system fails applies across political labels: who decides, what limits power, what information is public, who participates, and whether a real correction or remedy exists. Myanmar relevance. Use ordinary lived experience only where it clarifies the mechanism. Avoid turning Myanmar into dramatic background or implying that one national experience fits every society. Here is the civic practice for this episode. See and ask. Name one of the 4 prices your community has already paid. How is it still being charged today? Verify. Examine one credible record of service loss, displacement, education disruption, trust, or institutional capacity. Act. Record one intergenerational cost and one institutional change that would prevent it from being passed forward. Review. Record whether you can name the responsible institution, evidence, safeguard or remedy, and one safe next step. Use only lawful, proportionate steps. Do not convert an educational exercise into a public accusation. Each chapter in this part traces one of these intimate territories through the same 3 environments. The purpose is not to catalog suffering. It is to make a single argument undeniable: there is no part of a private life that a political system does not touch. The body answers to politics. The mind is shaped by it. The family is secured or endangered by it. To understand this is to lose forever the comfortable illusion that politics is something happening somewhere else. The principle to carry forward is this: when a system fails, it charges 4 prices: lost time, broken trust, fled or wasted talent, and inherited trauma. Ask yourself, what part of the way institutional failure transfers harm across generations have I treated as normal even though it should be visible, answerable, and correctable? The system shapes our lives. Our participation shapes the system. Subscribe. Learn. Participate. Shape the future. KJA, knowledge justifies authority.